Hi everyone, this is our channel, Around My Story. Please like, share and subscribe.
I tell myself, ignore it. It's getting closer. Just ignore it. But it gets even closer. I tell myself, act natural, like you see nothing. But then it passes right by me. I take a deep breath. There's another one, but it's far away from me. Don't worry, I'm as lost as you are. Excuse me, your order? The cashier asks me. Hurry up, you're holding up the line, says the man behind me. I quickly order a cheeseburger with Coke and take the receipt. That was so tense. See, the thing is, I've been able to see ghosts for a long time. It all started when I was a kid. I was so scared, and I told my parents, but they didn't believe me. I was quite the storyteller back then too. Now let's go back to the restaurant. I get my meal and sit back at my place. I see ghosts, wandering aimlessly. How interesting, right? Wrong. I notice a few girls sitting next to me. I recognize one of them, Jennifer from my class. She is adored by everyone. I find her quite annoying. I think she senses me looking and glances at me. I quickly look away. I prefer being alone over being a clown. It's starting to get dark. As I walk home, I take a few snaps with my camera along the way. Trees, flowers, sky, streets, cars, houses, or anything beautiful that catches my eye. It's like capturing the moment at the right time and from the perfect angle. The street in autumn looks amazing. The mix of red, yellow, and orange is dazzling. It's my favorite time of the year. There are a few people here and there. So are the ghosts. I used to have a hard time figuring out if a certain person is alive or is a ghost. They all just seemed so similar to me. As I'm walking wrapped up in my thoughts, I see a guy standing near a tree a few steps away. He's staring at the leaves. At that moment, he looks picture perfect. He's tall, dark messy hair, and curious eyes. He looks like he's in a trance, deep in thought. The setting sun's light graces him at the right angles. Alas, I couldn't help but want to try to capture this image. He notices someone staring at him, and he looks at me. Embarrassed, I just nervously wave my hand and say sorry. He looks around to see if I was talking to someone else. Feeling awkward, I turn and go on my way, but he's coming towards me now. And then I watch as a woman with a stroller passes by, and he goes right through her. That's when I realized I'd made a huge mistake. He keeps walking toward me, confusion on his face. I ignore him and keep walking. This is what I meant by not being able to tell the difference sometimes. Hey, wait! He yells, but I pay him no attention. This is why I avoid them. As soon as they notice I could see them, they either won't leave me alone or want me to do something for them, which is quite a hassle. Plus, what if some of them try to hurt me? As I keep walking, he runs up in front of me. You can see me, right? He says. I ignore his words and walk right through him. Whenever I make these types of mistakes of revealing myself, I make them think they misunderstood, and then they leave. I know you can see me, he says, and keeps following me. Now he's walking right beside me. I keep ignoring him. Why are you pretending? He asks. He keeps trying to get me to talk all the way to my house. When is he gonna leave? I wonder as I enter my home. I groan internally as he follows me inside too. He smirks. I know you can see me. Ignore me all you want. I am gonna make you talk to me, he says as he follows me to the kitchen. This is getting frustrating. At night, when I try to sleep, it feels so unbearable. He's sitting right in the corner of my room. He still hasn't left. He must have known I can't fall asleep as he starts humming. It's all to annoy me so I would acknowledge him. Resist! Resist it! I keep telling myself. Don't snap! He wants you to do that. Don't do it. I take a deep breath and calm myself. After that, I try my hardest to sleep while he annoys me all night long. I didn't even get a wink of sleep. I pat myself on the back for keeping it all together all night. Looking at the mirror, I look like a zombie. He laughs, much to my irritation. You look terrible. I'm honestly impressed by your patience and endurance, he says. I sigh. I was so nervous for today's presentation I couldn't sleep at all, I say to myself. He simply rolls his eyes. Later, he follows me to school. He noticed how I avoid confrontation with other ghosts. Why do you avoid them? With your ability, you could help them, he says as I take my seat in the class. No way. Like I said, it's such a hassle to do all of that. It's not my job. He then sits on top of my desk, one leg on top of the other. Annoying. So, Elizabeth, I see you have no friends. You're lonely. That's not good. You should learn to make friends. He laughs. I simply take out a book and read. I won't let him get on my nerves. He then leans towards my face. I keep my eyes on the book. He smirks. You're a sad little person. Then gets up and leaves the classroom.
Hey, my name is Rachel. In high school, the homecoming dance was coming up. I happened to confide that I had a crush on a popular guy to another girl in my class. Unbeknownst to me, they were very, very good friends, and this girl offered to put in a good word for me. The next day, she told me my crush would totally say yes if I asked him. So, in between periods, I found my crush in the hallway, asked him to the homecoming dance, and he said yes. Well, homecoming is on Saturday. Today is Thursday. My crush, his friend, and we went to lunch together and I offered to pay in the hopes that this will make them like me even more. And yes, I was that bad. They tell me they want 2 bags of chips, burgers, fries, and 2 small cartons of chocolate milk. No problem. I go to the cafeteria and get those items like a boss. For some reason, I decided to jog over to them, even though that really only shaves off 10 minutes from my trip, but I still did it. I had 2 bags of chips in my mouth, one in my hand with a burger and fries, the other hand with 2 cartons of chocolate milk. They are sitting in the common area. The common area is carpeted, parallel to the cafeteria, which had a tile floor. These rooms are separated by a relatively small metal line on the floor, and as I meet that line, my left foot catches on the metal. No problem, I have another foot. I will just swing that foot forward real quick and save this. But no, the other foot also catches. As I fall straight forward, I try to catch myself with my hands. Well, one hand had the chocolate milk in it, which just burst out, sending chocolate milk in every single direction. My other hand didn't help me either. It slipped on the burger in the bag and the fries go all over the place. The last thing to break my fall was actually my own face. The face with 2 bags of potato chips in my mouth. You know those jokes about chips bags being full of air? Well, they're actually true. As my face collided with the ground, both the bags of chips exploded at the same exact time and it sounded like a gunshot. Somehow one of my shoes just flew off. I tried to melt into the ground and fade out of existence for a moment, and this happened at the meeting point of the common room and the cafeteria. So everyone in both rooms either saw or heard this fiasco and looked over. About 100 students. It's deadly silent for a couple of seconds and then comes the laughter. And dear God, the laughter. It was like a jet engine. Every person there was laughing the hardest they have ever laughed in their whole lives. I even saw the janitor doubled over laughing, bracing himself with a mop handle. A teacher was trying to walk over to help me, but she stopped every couple of feet to use her whole body to laugh at me. All of this happens not 10 feet away from the table in which my crush and his friends were sitting. Everyone is having a great laugh, but my crush has the greatest laugh of all. He has fallen to the ground, with one hand bracing himself on his knees. The other hand is clutched at his ribs as he laughs so hard that no sound comes out. He was wheezing like a dolphin. There is no recovery from this. I walked to the bathroom to clean myself up. The teacher could only manage to hand me my shoe along the way and continue laughing. In the bathroom, the laughter did not die at all for what seemed like a lifetime. When the bell rang, I was still in the bathroom and people were still laughing. While I spent the whole day wallowing in easily the most embarrassing moment of my life, I thought, well, maybe I'm just a funny girl and he will like it. The next morning, I see my crush before class and he walks up to me and he says, "So homecoming is tomorrow." Eager not to speak about the shit show that happened yesterday, I just excitedly said, "Yes, yes it is." And then he delivers a crisp and says, so this girl that I actually like asked me to go to the dance with her, so I think I'm gonna go." To which I replied, yeah, that makes sense. I totally did not go in the bathroom and cry after that. Anyways, my crush said he will go to homecoming with me. The day before, I tripped with his lunch and face planted into a pool of random ingredients in front of the entire class. My crush did not go to the homecoming dance with me.